We do also have Dirk on tracking, so if anything is missing, be sure to let Dirk know. And our runners are also. For our settings, we will start in the Great Temple, and we will get a brief look at what is in. Just a light ammo expansion in the main. So this Alpha Splinter fight is going to be very slow. We're not going to have any major power-ups except from just our charge beam. And we will likely see that our drop from this fight will in fact be the Violet Translator, so it will be nice to see if either Belattor or reedwhaley really go back up to get the hint. This is unfortunately just a very slow fight without any kind of missiles or beams to help. And there, of course, is our Violet Translator that we can use to get out of the Great Temple. Remember, of course, to have a quick look in the ceiling to make sure if you need to come back or not. It did look like a translator. It looked kind of like a Ramber translator. So it'll be interesting to see if and when we get Space Jump, or worst case scenario, we'll only get more bubble bombs and we can back and get it. And of course, without our base missiles, we can't get to the Storage Cavern B, which is normally one of our first checks that we get on the way out of the Great Temple. And of course, base jump is at the top. The Belattor grabbing. And both are runners making their way to Aegon at the same time. But I think without having like missiles and things, this makes more sense. And we did, of course, pick up our morph ball bombs and the Aegon gate. So if you really, really wanted to, you had both ways to go and get Amber Translator, which was in the hint, before going to Aegon and after giving you access to the Aegon hint. Yeah, both our runners did see Amber on the way out of the Great Temple. Neither decided to go back and get it. Okay, so Belattor going to the portal. It's like we do have space jump, we do have morph ball bombs, so getting in and out of Dark Aether is not an issue. At least at the portal site. Reed having a really intense encounter with the space pirates, bring them down to 19 health before getting the yellow drop. And for those who don't know, Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous. And Reed about to pick up their missile expansion from the portal access. It seems we have a bit of diversions where Reed has decided to return and is likely going for a Bomb Guardian, whereas Bellator's decided to take the gamble into Dark Aether. With access to those space jump, make quick work of the shortcut to get the Jump Guardian. Bellator bypassing Jump Guardian for the moment, going straight to the trial tunnel. See what's in the broom closet. It's going to take a bit of damage getting here because there's very little safe zones. And unfortunately, just a Dark Beam expansion. Or Dark Ammo expansion, sorry. Meanwhile, we have Reed going to the main energy controller. What is the reward? Yeah, that's just a missile as well. Definitely take those early missiles. And Reed skipping Parabomb Guardian on the way in has activated the War Boss hives. But it gives you something to kill, because Bomb Guardian, you have to wait for him to get consumed by the darkness before you can deal with him. Meanwhile, Belattor taking out Jump Guardian without, actually taking him out, because for some reason his hitbox is active. And you can continue to shoot it and start the fight with 1 HP. I'm rewarded with a Dark Beam from Jump Guardian. Is that 2 seeds in a row? I think it's 2 seeds in a row generated with Dark Beam on Jump. No, it wasn't. It was a Visor earlier. I think the Dark Beam was on Bone Guardian in the previous seed. But no, just a light ammo expansion, so polar opposite for Bone Guardian in this seed. And Bellator taking that Dark Beam and going to check the in cache. Gets Secret Launcher, which is definitely a nice find. Thankfully, the space jump movement through Dark Aether definitely helping out, not staying in the Dark Aether for too long. And Bellator gets to the save station. Reed also in the save station, just in the Light World version. Now, will Bellator give us a quick check of Crossroads now? Just running past? Okay then. So that is an energy tank and transport access, which Bellator will have access to because you'll have opened the gate in the Dark World. And they'll be able to claim that energy tank, which would be nice. Don't like having seats where you have no energy tanks and no suits to protect you too much. And Reed also taking the warp to save through the start part. To read the hint to tell us the emerald is available in Aegon Wastes. Still have a lot of potential areas for that to be. We still have labs to go through, which we do have access to. There's still a couple of out the way checks like Mining Station B, which we could see, but we wouldn't be able to check the storage area because that requires power bombs and a light beam. Reed taking advantage of the warp and picking up that amber translator that you saw earlier, and we got the hint for it as well. That's a very early Sky Temple key that we had to skip out earlier with no access to missiles. Reed finding out his space jump boots are locked behind the Morph Ball bomb jump. which Belattor managed to skip by earlier and claim those early. So he already has those and didn't have to come back for these. And Reed appears to be making his way to the hive chambers, where normally there's just hive chamber B to check with morph ball bombs, but because he has dealt with Bomb Guardian, that is the trigger that allows Dark Missile Tripper to spawn. So he'll be able to get both those checks on the first pass through. Belattor making the play to Mining Station B and finds Light Beam as a reward. That's interesting. We still don't have a power bomb yet, so we can't get to check the storage container. But yeah, definitely early Light Beam, early Dark Beam are definitely something you want to see, because you're no longer blocked by your light and dark doors. And Belattor skipping out on that dark ammo expansion on the way out of the main shaft. Belattor making good use of that light beam based on where he found it, going through the back door to get into labs and finds another Sky Temple key. So that's 2 down already that we know of. 1 in storage container, the storage cavern, and temple grounds that we passed by, which Reed went back and picked up, and now the second one in the ventilation shaft. Choosing to not take a peek at the item before fighting Dark Samus 1. And Reed also have found energy tank and hive chamber beast. That's our second energy tank that we've seen from both our runners. And that's a super missile. Ooh, Bellets are making all the plays today. Checking our mining station B to get light beam. Dark Samus holding super missiles, which may or may not be required, but given the way these seeds tend to go, if you want to explore Torvus, you're going to need those super missiles. the Dark Oasis hint, also suggesting that it's a beam ammo expansion with a beam related upgrade. So either beam ammo, very likely a beam combo. And that was also very similar for the Ing Relic earlier, which is actually light suit lock, so Reed doesn't have to worry too much about knowing that information. Let's see if you can dupe the item. It's a missile expansion in the GMC compound, so you could go back and dupe that if you wanted. Given the missile expansion count so far, I wouldn't believe him for doing it. Reed finding another E-tank inside the Great Temple. That puts him up to 3. And Belattor happened to reload the room to pick up their second energy tank. So that's 5 energy tanks that we never knew of. It's a very healthy seed compared to the one earlier today where there was no energy tanks for so long. And Reed having to use the save warp to get back. You need Dark Visor to get out from the temple transport, and you need the Emerald Translator to open the gate back to the main temple, which we know from a hint is in Aegon. Doom Entry having another Sky Temple key, that puts us at 3. Puts us at 3 already. Is it just me, or does this seed feel like it's just giving away the keys? And the Encash that normally has the light beam housing our gravity boost. Having gravity boost and known Emerald is somewhere in Aegon, and also having super missiles. It's pointing at Torvus, guys. This seed is pointing towards Torvus. Reed now returning to Aegon with both the space jump and the Amber Translator. I wonder if Reed will find something in the hints that maybe Bellator doesn't know about. It's just a missing outside battleground, so looking to not cause the trigger. And Reed having a look at what's in Mining Plaza, which looked like a beam ammo, but I have trouble seeing that at the best of times. Yep, thanks Reed for scanning that hint, that was great. just knowing where Dark Beam is after already having it. I suppose Reed doesn't have Dark Beam yet, so that may have been helpful. But with Dark Beam sitting on Jump Guardian, Reed will have to make a trip to the Dark World before going into labs. And now Belattor's picked up that hint that the Emerald Translator is an Aegon waste, so if we see Belattor returning to Aegon, yep, might be looking to make a Torvus play. I believe we still need our boost ball, though, if we want to get to Torvus through Aegon. But I think with Super Missiles, we can go the front door and gain access to it that way. In fact, judging by the way Bellator's going, he might be looking to make that play to Torvus without the Emerald Translator and just go in with the Super Missiles and the Gravity Boost and Space Jump and both beams. Ah, the good old joke hint. Here are the words of Lear. And take it back. Bellator going through the Morphball tunnels to get to the Hall of Honor Dead. We have found secret missiles, so we can get out the front door. Bellator taking time to open Hall of Honor Dead to pick up that energy tank. So I feel like there's a couple of faster energy tanks in the world to pick up than that one. We're making their way to Jump Guardian and we'll be soon picking up their Dark Beam. A Morphball related upgrade within the Defiled Shrine. That does not sound too pleasant. We don't know where our boost ball is. We don't know where our spider ball is. We don't know where men power bombs are. It's like, pick your poison. It could be any one of those. The Bellator making their way through the hive chambers will also get another energy tank for the reward. And Reed may just be kicking himself now after finding out that's where Dark Beam's been sitting all along. Nice and early. Although with 3 energy tanks, absolutely nothing to worry about going through these rooms to get to the broom closet. You don't have to sit and wait for your health to come back. Belattor using some standable collision to get out of the landing site and on the way back towards Troubles. The Torpus Bog. Reed also retracing the steps through Dark Aegon now that has the Dark Beam, can get the Incash. And pick up their Seeker missiles. Belattor is making our way towards the Sky Temple Gateway, and that will of course give Belattor access to all of the Sky Temple hints to find the remaining 6, because we've already found 3 of them. Let's see if this seed has any nasty surprises for us. Having a brief look at it on Reed's screen, but is that either a translator or a visor sitting in Crossroads? Really interesting to see when they go back for that. Inghai aerial training site. Taurus Great Bridge. That was kind of easy to get. Temple Ground Storage Cavern B, we know of. We just didn't have the missiles when we came through there first time. But Reed went back early with the Seeker launcher or with the missile expansion and picked it up. Fortress Transport Access. So that is a light suit requirement. So we are going to have to find our light suit. Sanctuary Fortress Aerie. So Dark Samus 2 required. This has got a nice one. Great Temple Main Energy Controller. We've already got both those rewards for the Great Temple, so that has to be a Quadraxis requirement. Dynamo Chamber on Temple Grounds. You know, Captain MD is going to have a joy with this seed having to think of all the bosses that are now required. Belattor thankfully did save at the ship before coming here, so yeah, we just Go there, get your notes, write them down, and then, yep, death warp back to the ship. That was a nice location for some of those Torgus keys. But we don't know what trick is required yet. Sorry, that was the key to Hive Temple, not to Torgus Temple. You'd never need those keys. We can skip them. Poison Bog has a life support system, so if I remember correctly, that can be either a suit or an energy tank. And doing some funky dashing with the gravity boost to get Spider Ball from the Taurus Lagoon. So we're going to need that Spider Ball at some point. We do see a power bomb inside the Taurus Temple access. Well, you can still use it without the main power bombs. The logic still accounts for you finding the power bombs first, the main power bombs first. But we do have a power bomb related checks that are Sky Temple keys, so we need to make sure we go and pick that up. There's not much of a hint from the portal terminal there. So given the items we have and the information we have, we can probably just rule it as a missile expansion. And Quadraxis himself is guarding a missile expansion. Still need to beat him, because we still need to return that energy. And our Emerald Translator, we got a hint for right at the start of the game, with the Violet Translator hint, wasn't Sad Cash, so we needed to go get the Amber before we could get that the first time. The underground tunnel not paying off today in this seed. It's usually known for hiding something good. And both our runners already have their energy transfer module from the Dark Missile Trooper, so thanks, Hen. And another energy tank. We're definitely healthy, but that health means nothing because we do need to find both our suits. And Belattor appears to be doing what's called a boost jump, where it's essentially the same as a bombed space jump, but instead of bomb, you're boosting. It has that same mechanic where if you instant unmorph, you have like a free frame window to press jump, and you can store your momentum doing that, which is what allows them to get that echo visor set in meditation vista. And Reed is also finished with Dark Suns 1 and picked up their super missiles. I would definitely say that looks like an ammo expansion. And the main reactor. So it's not the most pressing concerns because we do need both our Spider Ball and Boost Ball to get there. Which I don't actually know where Belattor picked up Boost Ball, or if he managed to pick up Cannonball earlier. because they both give you the ability to boost. It's just boost ball will destroy objects when it hits them, and cannonball doesn't. So cannonball being this weird item that the game temporarily gives you when you get launched out of a cannon. And as part of the randomizer, we've been able to make it a permanent item until you get shot out of a cannon. So it kind of counts as a wee joke item, and we have sacrificed one of our power bomb expansions to allow there to be a cannonball item in the game. So it's quite fun to pick up. Just you can't take damage in Morph Ball. You deal ridiculous amounts of damage per second for anything weak against Cannonball. So it makes for some interesting sequences. We do have Belattor going on to explore some of Dark Tarvis now. Remembering to go back and pick up a power bomb. We do only have that one expansion, and you actually need 3 to get through this pond, because both doors are power bomb locked, and of course you need it to open up the item itself. That is our Sunburst, so that's one of our 3 combos. Well, not required, it's a definite nice to have for coming up against the fighting bosses. It definitely helps out with the Emperor Ring fight. One of our first keys for the Chica fight, hiding underneath Chica. A rather fitting place for her. But we don't know if Chica's required yet. We haven't found the hint to completely disregard Chica. So, could potentially still be holding something like a suit. We'll just need to wait and see. I think Reed also maybe had an indication of going to front of Torvis. But I forgot, of course, that you need that light beam. And that big shiny object was the main power bombs. So any power bomb checks from now on are considered in logic. I need to double check what the difficulty levels are, if that space jump is actually required, or if they expect you to have grapple. I would need to double check. Belattor making a save there kind of suggests of a boost guardian fight. We do have power bombs, we have main power bombs, so we do have a good number. So that should make very quick work of the boost guardian. Yeah, we have a total of 4, that's way more than enough. It looks like he's on the way to mining station B, which is where he will find his light beam, and will likely be feeling very far behind. No, just checking mineshaft and leaving. That's not a good sign. Belattor using some quick wall crawling to get out. It's possibly the freest one in the game. It's just a big hole in the wall. You can just jump straight through it. And the hen. Oh, this seat just gets worse. Morbus has the dark visor. Yeah, it looks like Reed may just be having some technical issues. It'll hopefully come back on its own. Belattor finding the first of those 3 Aeon keys he needs. Now that we... Well, is Dark Visor required? We will have to see. Yeah, it looks like Reed's stream is back with us now. That was not something you wanted to do on your last 5 missiles there, Belattor. You might want to make sure you hit your target dead on. And there's a secondary confirmation that we have to kill Quadraxis or return the energy. Because the Amos 2 reward is indeed one of the Sky Temple keys. And we did also find Grapple, which right now we don't have Screw Attack yet, so it will be convenient for getting some things. The Screw Attack usually renders it redundant. Lord Tarvis is so much a better place when you have that gravity boost. And another confirmation that a Morbus is required for Dark Visor. I'm starting to think the hints are beginning to get trolly. Screw Attack hiding in Transit South. If I remember correctly, that is Annihilator beam locked. I think if you came into this thinking this was a Jet Seed after those 3 early Sky Temple keys, oof, the seed was like, nope, we can't have that. Reed may just be taking some time to assess what's going on. And Belattor making his way to Sanctuary on the vault side. It's another one of those keys we never need. Despite we need to kill Quad. We still don't need the Hang keys. Do not blame Belattor for taking it slow in the Ing Hive. Still on just the basic Various suit. Dark Aether does 6 damage per second when you're in it. And having a Warrior Ring just hitting at you and taking shots to knock you around. Yeah, I don't blame him for taking it slow. So there's a lovely collection of shinies. And still get knocked off. There's only one left and it's still him. I had 2 different attempts to look at what was on the Ing reactor core and I still couldn't see it. Just a missile expansion at Hazen Cliff, so nothing too important for the time being. So we know the Ing cache hiding behind Spider Guardian isn't anything important. Just a missile related upgrade. I'm starting to be a wee bit concerned for Reed because I think Reed is maybe forgetting what level certain tricks are within. We do play with a couple of tricks at beginner level, which includes a couple of bomb space jumps and a couple of like geometry jumps, so jumping off terrain. There is one that you could have used at landing site, which would have helped him get up, but his the main location he needs to go to is mining site B. Belattor seen the Cobalt translator inside the. What one is that? I believe it's Dynamo Works. We're going to go with that. It's the Dynamo Works. and that was the hint for the spider ball that we found earlier. So that was one of the more complex hints that the game can provide. A couple was like, hey, this item can be found a number of rooms away from something, or even a number of rooms away from an item. So you kind of have to pay attention to what key numbers you've picked up, just in case it references a key. But most of the times it's to do with like room numbers and just general awareness of where items are in relation to other rooms is really beneficial for moving around these new hints. The bright side to it though is we removed there's so many key hints that used to exist that are now gone, and so the hints are more useful now. And that is the key number 3 of our useless keys. We still need to find key number 2. Yes, there have been no suits, yes, yet, but we have found the hint for where Screw Attack is. And our Screw Attack is in Transit Tunnel South in Torvus Bog, which is Annihilator being locked. So our priority for runners to get Screw Attack will be, where's our Annihilator beam? Parabomb can be found in Venomous Bog. That's how we got here, video game. We don't need that hint. So far, the Sky Temple key hints have been fantastic because they have completely train wrecked the scene essentially. But in terms of like the generic hints that the Luminoff give you, it's only really been one or two that's been helpful. Reed, unfortunately, I think is in this stage where you're retracing your steps, just thinking, could I have missed something, or is there an item I could have had access to that I just wasn't aware of? And this is painful to watch when it gets to these parts of seeds. Reed, thankfully, however, letting me know where Boost Ball was, because I missed it when Belattor went through. And Belattor making his way to the Dark Samus 2 fight. It does have Echo Visor, which is what you need to get out of the room. Did technically sequence break that? Because I'm pretty sure boost jumping is not part of beginner logic. So I'm gonna say then that technically this is locked behind Annihilator Beam as well. Or this would also be locked behind Screw Attack, which is locked behind Annihilator Beam. So we do know that this is a Sky Temple key, which is why we're here, probably just getting it over and done with. And this reroute is unfortunately a joke hint. I won't be able to make much more progress because of Light Beam. It's like finding that boost ball was like, yep, it was a sense of progression, but unfortunately it wasn't the progression he was looking for. And Belattor picks up another Sky Temple key. Belattor showing off the boost jump once again. Could have just done the just used the grapple, but he was there on the swag points. And there's the hint for Echo Visor. That key sequence broke and found in the meditation vista. We've also coming across the unfortunate news that Dark Morgus holds the Dark Visor. Lightning Strike, Mark, you have missed out on quite the turn of events with this seed. We went from what looked like a jet seed with 3 very early Sky Temple keys to Dark Samus 2 required, Quadraxis Return of the Energy Controller required, and Morbus has the Dark Visor, so we're not quite sure if that's required or not, because I can't remember which of these checks is actually Dark Beam or considered locked by the Dark Visor. So yeah, it's been a rather turn of events for this. We do, however, know that we need to find light suit, because one of them is in Fortress Transfer Access, which you need the light suit to go up the light beam for. So there's that still playing on runners' minds. Reed is unfortunately missing light beam, which is in mining station B, which is where Dark Burst is. I'm not sure if Reed knows about the bomb space jump that you need to do to get that item at this point. Because he did go into Mineshaft, see the Dark Ammo expansion, and leave again. So I'm kind of worried that that's what's happening here, which is just an unfortunate event that's going to happen. We've also found out that our screw attack is in Transit Tunnel South in Lower Tortoise Bog, so that's Annihilator being locked. It's all fun and games with this seed. Belattor looks like he's trying to do an extended dash to get to the Sky Temple Gate. Extended dash is a weird combination of a bunny hop and a scan dash, where if you games have this weird mechanic where if you jump from the side to side, you can sort of store your momentum. And if you store your momentum from one jump into a scan dash, you get to go really far for some reason. So bunny hop is great. Bunny hopping's existed back since like original Half-Life. You could bunny hop in that game ridiculously amount sometimes. Speaking of Wonderverses, we have finally found Darksuit. Let's see what the alpha blog has hidden for us today. We'll see if this also just add on to the tally of required alpha blog fights. I'm not sure if Captain will be happy that he doesn't have to add another tally onto it, or unhappy because he doesn't have to add another tally onto it. Alpha blog is definitely winning the race of required bosses so far. Although this Parabomb Guardian appears to require something, he's going to have to start counting it. Can't have this not counting Parabomb Guardian as a boss. Just because it's really easy. So you do, of course, go for the rear bomb slots first, because as you take down his health, he gets faster and faster at firing, and it gets strangely more accurate. So he gains some Dark Souls levels of tracking when he starts throwing those power bombs at you. Nope, it was just a missile expansion. Well, Lord Torpus not paying off so far. We have guest appearance from Grapple Guardian in this seed. I believe we did see Sunburst, I just can't remember where. And as it is just a missile expansion from the Grapple Guardian, it's be sure not to pick it up, otherwise you risk spawning Dark Commandos everywhere. And those just eat away time. I wonder what's in that pipe. Hey, the third key that we need for possibly a Morbus. Yeah, unfortunately, Reed is just in one of those states where it's like, you know you've missed something, but you don't know what it is, and it's a horrible state to be in. And it's like, I've been in it myself with Link to the Past. And it's like you just have to go back over your notes, go back over every location you've been to, double checking things. And it's just unfortunate in this case that I don't think it is that he's missed it. I think it's just a lack of knowing the difficulty levels for certain tricks. And it's just really unfortunate. But it's unfortunately something that can happen when it comes to taking part in these kind of tournaments. Because the execution level for certain games like Metroid, like even like any of the Metroid series, some of the tricks are really difficult, and that's why we have all these fluctuating settings that we can change. Refinding that power bomb, however, is probably going to maybe give him some inclination of where to go, if it's going to give him anything. Belattor finally picking up that free Sky Temple key at the start of the game. Where does Reed need to go? He needs to go to Mining Station B, which is where you normally pick up Dark Burst, and do a BSG against the wall to get up to what is Light Beam. And that's essentially going to blow open the seed form. Yeah, I think Bellator has decided he's going to go around and get everything he can on the way to checking something else. Some of the more common checks we would have saw earlier if it wasn't for all the items pulling him away. Beam-related upgrade in Ing, really Quillery, wherever that place is called. I can never say that word. Words, how do they work? I don't think we saw sand processing on Belattor side. I think he'd already finished his sort of lab look around when he found Boost Ball. Another Torvis key inside the wind chamber. Yeah, we still don't have that hint for Chica, so we don't know if Chica's required, but it's running low. Oh, there's an Annihilator Beam. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, certain doors take longer just entirely based on load times. Some rooms are bigger, some rooms are smaller. Some rooms themselves are essentially like loading screens. It's actually a good technique to hide away loading screens in your game, so you don't have to slow the player down in the sense of the action. The problem is the Annihilator Beam doesn't really open up anything for Reed in his current state. But just having it, like, automatically puts you at an advantage because we are going to need it. And if he ever gets out of the little... If he finds the light beam and eventually gets to go around, he's going to be able to pick up Screw Attack right away. Yeah, in Prime 1, the Artifact Temple is huge. There's so much in it that it takes a lot of time trying to understand where it needs to be at when it opens. It's actually like one of the reasons why people don't like going there. We have had the hint for Screw Attack, we do know where it is, and we do know it is Annihilator locked, but I think it's also Light Beam locked because of where it is in Lower Torvis. No, it's unfortunate. The Light Beam is in Mining Station B, where Dark Burst is, and Reed went into the mine shaft, and then just turned around and left. And I'm not sure if Reed understands that you can get it through a bomb space jump. Also, that hint for the suit is the suit we already have game. We need the other one. Reed's brought out the map and he's on the right room. It's exactly where he needs to be. I think maybe this is Reed working out that you can get it. Or worst case scenario, he's just going to go there and attempt to get it and find out you can get it that way. There's actually nothing better than being stuck at a problem and then finding a solution to it. It just gives you this sort of rush of just energy of, yes, finally got past this problem that's been holding me back for ages. At the same time, though, doing it in the middle of a race, you might be just hating yourself just a little bit. And just thinking, yep, I'm so far behind. There's no chance of me catching up at this point. Yep, you learn something new every day, and those Metroids do carry some corpses around with them. It's a rather not nice scene when you think about it in the bigger picture. I think Metroid Prime 4 is a bit of a ways out before we worry about are we going to be randomizing or not. It would be nice if we could have one. Hint for the dark beam. Thanks, game. It's like the first item we got. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to see what happens with Metroid Prime 4. I'm aware development has went through its issues recently, so it'll be a while. So we will just have to make do with our Echoes 2 randomizers and our Prime randomizer and even the Corruption randomizer that's around. And while we're at it, shout out to everyone from SpeedGaming 6 coming across from the match there. You're joining what has been a rather unfortunate seed with some nasty requirements of Dark Samus 2 and Quadraxis and Morbus for Dark Visor, so everyone's looking for keys. Bells are still looking for a light suit because light suit is required for Fortress Transport access. Screw Attack is locked by the Annihilator Beam. And Torber's Bog. And unfortunately, Reed is in the state of he's aware he's missed something, which is Light Beam, and is sort of retracing his steps, going over where he's been, where could he potentially go. And it's just unfortunate for him where his location is, that it's actually in Mining Station B, is where he needs to be to do a bomb space jump. It's like we know from Reed's side that Annihilator Beam is in sand processing, so Belattor is likely going to get it soon. Reed had Boost Ball and came back to double check sand processing as part of his sort of roundup. And Belattor didn't have Boost Ball when he went through labs because he went through labs very early. But that hint potentially pushing him towards Battlegrounds as well for beam related upgrades. There was also his third Aegon key, so can now take down a Morbus and claim his Dark Visor. But yeah, it's been nasty in terms of just it looked like a Jet Seed. There's 3 Sky Temple keys right off the bat, and then just Belattor went and checked Sky Temple key hints, and it's like, yep, you need to Dark Samus 2, you need to return the energy to Sanctuary, you need Fortress Transport access, so that puts both your suits in launch. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. And Belattor would finally be happy in having that Annihilator Beam, knowing that that puts Screw Attack in logic, that it puts Echoes in logic, that puts Dark Samus 2 in logic, so his keys are all there and all accounted for. Yeah, Belattor did some out of bounds earlier to get out of the portal chamber in Torpus Bog. So it wouldn't surprise me if Belattor could wall crawl to Fortress Transport Access. So the three keys that Bellator has left is Fortress Transport Access, returning the energy to Sanctuary and returning to Umos. And I'm just having a look at my notes to see where the last one is. Because there's Ventilation Area A, there's Great Bridge, Doomed Entry, Dynamo Chamber, which we know for certain got, Storage Chamber he definitely got, area got, Aerial Trading Site, I think he picked up. We have finally found the hint for Chica, and it is just Cannonball. So we finally found out Chica's dead. Someone just inadvertently made an all bosses require seed. Which, to be fair, I don't think we need Dark Visor. I think we can get away without it. It's like my logic brain is not up to date with whether or not Dark Visor is required or not. No, main power bombs were in Venom's Pond, so they were accessible. Because Grapple was in Torvus Energy Controller. Although, to be fair, Belattor did a jump. He jumped. Yeah, Gravity Boost was very early. It was an in-cache 1, where Light Beam normally is, so our runners got it very quickly. Or Belattor got it very quickly after obtaining Light Beam. But Belattor is on their way to pick up Screw Attack. And we'll see where Belattor decides to go after this. Yeah, it is an awful location. I don't know if having a hint for it makes it any better, um, especially because I think the hint was already in Lower Torvus. So having to go all the way back to Sand Process and get Annihilator to come back for Screw Attack. Yeah, that's a bad set. Are final bosses required for this race? Yes. Um, there was no gentlemen's agreements for this race, so it was just a pure standard tournament settings race. Reed looks like he's heading the right way. Come on, Reed. Just go all the way into Mining Station, please. You see Reed shaking from side to side there. Just nope, 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 nope. You're silly. You were silly for forgetting that. Remaining Sky Temple keys are Fortress, Transport Access, and Return the Light to Sanctuary from the Word from Umos, and I generally can't remember what the third one is. But we had Fortress Transport Access, Ventilation Area A, the Great Bridge, Doomed Entry, Dynamo Chamber, Storage Chamber B, uh, Return the Energy, Airy for Dark Souls 2, and the Aerial Training Site. Those are 9 locations. We did also get our hint for Quad that it is just a missile expansion that he's guarding, so this is purely to return the light for the Sky Temple key later on. And there we go, Reed finally acquiring the light beam. And we'll be able to make progress in the seed. It has been painful to watch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Ing corrupted the quad and used it to defend the Ing hive. It's been a while since I caught up on the storyline of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Like, I'm pretty sure once you return the light to Taurus and go speak to Umos again, Umos tells you that it's the home of a fearsome creature that they built, and they deactivated it because it was too dangerous to have. And subsequently, I think he mentions that the Ing have taken it to protect their hive. I may have to just replay Echoes just to find out if that's what actually happens or not, if my memory serves me well. Someone has upgraded their lunchbox to a vault to ensure that no one steals it. Yes, more energy tanks. Never turn down extra energy tanks. Yep, you need to find something to do waiting for your energy to come back. Dark Aether on Vanilla Suit is not very nice. Just a plain old Varia. 6 damage per second. I think the worst thing as well is this: the hint for the suit that Belattor found is actually in Sanctuary entrance. So you'd have to go in the front door to find out that you have to then go in the back door to get access to a suit. Unless you've actually killed Morbus and got it. I can't remember where the Aegon keys were, if one of them was in Sanct Fortress or not. Bellator not happy that Umos was keeping that Sky Temple key from. Taking out just a little bit of frustration. Yeah, it's possibly looking at Bellator as considering doing the wall crawl to get to Fortress Temple access, to get that final key. Unless he saw something in the phase on grounds that I didn't see. In fact, he didn't have Annihilator Beam when he came here first, so he wouldn't have been able to check Profane Path. Yes, you can never go wrong with more energy tanks. Just fill the full bar up with energy tanks and then just go over them again with more. Just give me all the energy tanks. Oh, there it is. Light suit in the Sand Canyon. Belattor not happy with that, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can bet that Belattor is going to be gunning it to Fortress Transport Access, getting his last Sky Temple key, and making it his way to the final bosses of Emperor Ing and Dark Samus. Yep, I was about to ask that, Diggle. Were you the one who made this seed? It definitely has a Diggle. It definitely has a Diggle trademark on it. I think Diggle seeds are going to have to come with like stamps of Diggle approval of, yeah, this is going to be a bad one. Wasn't necessarily bad, even. It's just a case of, yep, everything looks like a jet seed, and then you go scan Sky Temple key hints, and it's like, oh, Dark Samus 2 requirement, oh, almost requirement. And then you find more hints for a more, but it says Dark Visor, which thankfully you don't need, but yep, it was an interesting. Yep, I think the restream just went down for a little moment there, guys, so it should be back up soon. Just a wee bit slow. I think even the restream bots had a hissy fit with this seed. It's like I just don't want to do this anymore. Boost Guardian, why are you not dead? Your health bar was gone. And then his builds are picking up his final Sky Temple key. So we will see a rush towards the end game. There is light at the end of the tunnel for him. Free him from this. Yes, thankfully Belattor did remember to remove the block when he came through here earlier to get the Torvus. Oh, Captain, let me tell you what you've missed. Quick, get your chart out for boss requirements because you're going to need to update it. So, it started off relatively quick. 3 Sky Temple keys, very easy on. We had 1 in Storage Cavern B, except missiles were in Aegon, so you had to go all the way out there to get that. There was early Morphle Bombs, early Space Jump. There was 2 other keys in Doomed Entry and Ventilation Area. Dark Beam was on Jump Guardian. Light Beam was in Mining Station B. And then we got to the hint for the Sky Temple keys, and that, my friend, is where it goes downhill. We had Dark Samus 2 required. We had Return the Energy to Sanctuary to get the Umos requirement. And then, to make matters worse, we find hints for a Morbus that say, by the way, he's got Dark Visor. And so it's like, there's another thing on your mind. But it's like, thankfully, the Dark Visor is just bait. Fortress Temple access also forcing Light Suit to be a requirement. Yep, it's fun. It's fine. And then you get hints for Screw Attack is in Transport South of Torvus Bog, so you need to go find Annihilator Beam. Echoes is on Meditation Vesta, so you have to get the Screw Attack to get Echoes logically. Belattor thankfully did a boost jump to get that out of logic, which allowed them to defeat Dark Samus and get out of the area really quickly. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a scene. It's like we have had a brief visit to Alpha Blog to find out that it had nothing, so we didn't fight him. We fought Parabomb Guardian, but that was nothing. We fought Grapple Guardian, that was nothing. It's like all these just checking locations to try and get things. And it's like, no, just the thought of doing Dark Samus too well. Also, the requirement of the suit on Sand Canyon meant you had to go to Sand Processing, get your Annihilator Beam to go to Lower Torvus Bog to get Screw Attack, and main power bombs were in Venom Spawn, so you could get them, and then to go back to Sand Canyon to get your second suit. The other suit was in Central Transport Area West, so after the Caretaker drone. Belattor did the jump across to get to the Sky Temple Key there. That was in the aerial training site. So yeah, just in general, just not a nice location for Sky Temple keys. Beyond the first 3, Ventilation Area A, Storage Cavern B, and Doomed Entry were the first 3 keys we found, and it was very quick. And then it's like, yep, Fortress Transport Access, Great Bridge, Dynamo Chamber, Light Suit, Airy for the Echo Via, and then Aerial Trading Site for all your Sky Temple key locations. Oh, it's been fun. Yep, the comm stream has also frozen again a wee bit, so hopefully it won't be frozen for too long and we actually get to see a Dark Samus fight. Oh, it looked like it came back for a second, and it's gone again. Oh, we're back. And it looks like Belattor has encountered Dark Samus 4. And with that, Bellator has finished off Dark Samus 4, saved Aether, and an official race time GG time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 24 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. And Reed has decided to free himself from his misery and forfeited to save himself. And we are joined by Reed in the Discord chat. Reed, how are you feeling?
Oh man, what was that seed?
I think it's safe to say we can blame Diggle because Diggle was the one who genned it. He came into chat to brag about how he gens such a horrendous seed for you guys.
Oh, I'm so happy because I honestly wanted my first tournament seed ever to be something this horrendous, but but I am GG Bellator.
Oh my god.
Yeah, GG Bellator.
Honestly, I was joking the other day when I said that quad was going to be required.
You got that far. Was quad actually required?
Yeah.
You almost two?
Yeah, it was two.
Reed, unfortunately, you're not finding light beam for so long. Like, it saved you the pain and misery of finding out how bad this seed actually is. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing to take away from it.
I am so mad at myself. Because I sat there between mining station and going back to Torvis and checking Torvis. And I sat there with that on my screen after finding Annihilator for a good solid 30 seconds going, do I make the safe play or do I go check this? Do I make the safe play or do I go check this? And I went and checked Torvis and wasted so much time.
To be honest, I played safely as well. I did everything on my way. And because of that, I found the Annihilator beam very, very late. Like I think I have cleaned both Sank and Torvis before founding Annihilator.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a nasty place to put Annihilator after what essentially is finding Boost Ball when you should be leaving Dark Labs area. And it's like, do you go back for that one check, or do you just assume it's nothing?
I think that was my biggest downfall right now on that. Was that right there? Is I forgot I had supers for a good 15 minutes.
Oof.
I even said to myself, it's like, I have supers. That's a great find this early. All right, we're good to go. And immediately forgot I had them.
I don't remember. Echo was even required this seed or not? Oh yeah, Airy.
Yep, you needed to get out of Airy.
Yeah, I was so happy to see the Echo Visor in Meditation Vista.
Yeah, you got those boost jumps down really well to skip that screw attack requirement.
Yeah, I was so happy with that, especially when I found the screw attack ends.
Yep, screw attack in Transit Tunnel South, and it's like locked by Annihilator.
Yeah.
Where's Annihilator?
Oh, man.
And light suits required as well.
Jeez.
There's a Sky Temple key and Fortress Transport access, and you're like, yep,
Yeah.
light suit required, and then you've got Umos reward for returning the temple energy. Right, that's quad required, and then you start to getting hints for Amorbus having Dark Visor, and you're like, do I need to do that? Is that going to be required? And it's like, thankfully not.
I gambled so hard on that.
I was still going back and forth in my head. It was just, is it required? Is it not required? Is it required? Is it not?
I was asking myself the same question, but at one point I was at the point where I know every single in-cache in the game, and Dark Visor wasn't even a question in my mind.
So
Oh,
that
that was
definitely removes some issue from you. Is like with main power bombs being in Tarvis, you could backdoor into Sanctuary, which was thankful.
yeah, and I wasted some time earlier before I went back to Torvis checking Spider, and that was just nothing today.
And the other good thing was the Cobalt translator in Dynamo Works.
Oh, it was in Dynamo?
Yeah, so it was not required at all. Because Cobalt luck. It was in the tunnel after you defeat Spider Guardian.
Oh, okay, yeah. But to be honest, I didn't even get that far yet. That's what's killing me. Is that it took me so long to remember a warrior's walk is a thing.
Oh. Oh
Because
yeah.
it took me a good 20 minutes of running around doing every other check, and then I'm looking at my map going, where can I go?
That
What can I
explains a lot of
do?
things.
Forgetting I had supers sent me to about 4 or 5 other checks before I did Warrior's Walk, because I saw 3 rooms away from Doomed Entry, or from Sky Temple Key 9.
Sky Temple Key 9, yeah.
Which was Doomed Entry. So I started forgetting I had supers. I thought it was going to be an in-cache 1.
Oh.
So I started my way all the way around, and then halfway there went, right, in-cache 1 is light beam locked, and I have not found that yet.
Yeah, there was a
In-cache
point
1 could have been vanilla, to be honest.
It could have been. But with me thinking Boost Ball was there. So yeah, it could have absolutely been vanilla, but I had seen the hint for Boost Ball, so I thought Boost Ball was there, so I didn't even go for it, because it's like, okay, so that's 3 rooms away. That's the only thing I can think of that I have access to. That's got to be Boost Ball, and I can't get there. I just made some really, really, really bad choices.
I was happy overall with my play. The only thing I regret a bit is going... as soon as we start, I saw the space jumps in temple assembly sites. I slope jumped to it, and I forgot to go back to pick up the Ember translator before going to Aegon.
See, and I actually went through all of Aegon, Bomb Guardian, everything before I went back and even got
Oh yeah.
Boots and Amber.
Yeah, that's the thing with tricks. You can save a lot of time.
See, I thought I was making an okay play too, because it's like, all right, I found some missiles here. I know this is out of logic, but I can at least try to get some of this here out of the way. And I think that may have red herring made it quite a bit.
The hardest task of breaking any logic is just remembering, like, where did I break it? What did I get from breaking it? And just remembering that this can't be locked by this.
That's very true.
One of the key trip-ups you see in A Link to the Past Randomizer is people breaking logic and forgetting that, oh, I got that locked behind something. And it's like, yep, you could have reversed engineered and worked it out, but it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's always easier to think when you are a viewer, like despite the be a racer.
Oh god, yes. I will absolutely say, like, the first 40 minutes, my heart's just going do. So nerves 100% had to do with it, with this being my first one ever. So this was awesome. So again, GG Belattor, great job.
GG to you too.
Yeah, it was a good race, you guys. Have you got any more to add? Topics, opinions?
Hopefully I won't be as stupid next time. And I'm going to start marking down when I get things. That'll help considerably.
Yeah, taking notes help a lot.
Well, that's everything. I will let you two guys go away, get some rest, and recover from this seat.
Thanks, Thoris. Thank you for doing the commentary, and thanks, Dirk, for doing the tracking for us.
Thank you all.
Yep, it was a sort of last minute to get this seat on the stream, get it restreamed, but it got there. Unfortunately, solo common, but hey, I'd rather have a solo comp stream than not have the restream and people missing out. So thanks again for running, thanks for taking part in the tournament, and again, thanks to Dirk for helping me track, or doing the tracking for me so I don't have to try and do everything. Massive shout out again to SpeedGaming for allowing us to use their channel to do these types of races. And of course, thank you guys in chat for hanging out, helping us away from the stuff, loneliness in the commentary booth. Give these guys a follow as appreciation for what they're doing. Give Dirk a follow as well for appreciation for taking time out to track. And hopefully we will see you next week for some more Echoes missions, Echoes Randomizer matches for you. So we will see you guys next mission.
Thanks, guys.
See you.